breakout is continuing towards this bullish price target as a much larger breakout is loading in the price of Bitcoin, while Ethereum is still rejecting against Bitcoin on this chart. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, just giving you a quick update on the 3-day Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is still in the much larger bullish trend on the larger time frames, forming higher lows and higher highs, also known as a bull market. And so basically nothing much has changed over the last 1 day on this chart right here. So if you want to know more about this chart, then check out my last video here on the channel. And if we're zooming into this area on the chart right here, but staying on the 3-day time frame, we potentially have a massive inverse head and shoulders pattern forming right now in the price of Bitcoin. Because as of right now, we already have the left shoulder formed, the head, and potentially right now we're forming the right shoulder. But in order to complete the formation phase for this pattern and confirm the pattern and confirm the price target, we need to see a confirmed breakout with ideally a 3-day candle close confirming above this neckline, which is sitting at around 71.7k. And so obviously at the time of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is very close to potentially seeing this play out. Obviously it has not happened just yet, but if we do confirm a breakout above around 72k, give or take, then that will confirm this pattern and the bullish price target for this pattern, which is sitting at around 86 to 87,000. And so if we're measuring from the point of the breakout to that price target, that's around a 21% move to the upside in the price of Bitcoin. And so that is why potentially a massive breakout is still loading in the price of Bitcoin. But once again, as of right now, we have not yet seen that confirmed because we have not yet actually confirmed a breakout above this neckline. But with that being said, taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart and taking a look at the DXY, also known as the US dollar index, and as of right now, this is still trending in the bearish direction, which is bullish for Bitcoin in terms of the trend on the same time frame here. Because as we can see here on this chart, time and time again, when the DXY is bearish, that is very often bullish for Bitcoin and crypto, and vice versa. When the DXY is bullish, that is very often bearish for Bitcoin and crypto. And so like I've been saying since below $60,000, basically this exact low just here around 1 month ago, I've been saying every day since then that we are looking bullish right now in terms of the trend on the daily time frame, forming higher lows and higher highs. And since then, this has been playing out exactly as expected. But as I always say, it's important to understand the difference between the different time frames. So even though we might still be within a bullish trend on this daily chart, or especially on this 3-day chart, of course, these bullish trends can contain short-term bearish price action here and there. That is perfectly normal to see even during a bullish trend. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, obviously as of right now, we're continuing to play out that bounce from this exact area of support that I've been talking about over and over again here on the channel. I've been saying there's a lot of buyers in that area that will buy up the price of Bitcoin, and that area is still sitting in between 67 to 68,000. But with that being said, even though we're experiencing a bounce from this area here on the daily time frame, we're still technically within this more sideways price range in between this area of support and this area of resistance, and this resistance is still sitting in between around 72 to 74,000. And so for all we know, this short-term breakout on the smaller time frames here, that short-term breakout could just be a bounce on the daily time frame within a choppy sideways price range. And so that's why I've been saying recently here on the channel over the last few days, in order to flip much more bullish again on the larger time frames, basically expecting the next leg to the upside in the larger bull market, we ideally need to break out above this resistance, ideally above the all-time highs, which would also confirm the breakout for this massive inverse head and shoulders pattern. And so once again, on slightly smaller time frames, we can see short-term bullish and bearish moves, but in order to expect that much larger bullish move, a massive move like a 20% move like this, for example, we need to break out above this resistance. And so until we start seeing that happening, as of right now, I would not be overly euphoric or overly bullish right now, because we're still sitting below major major resistance. But with that being said, if we're zooming into a smaller time frame, looking at the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, obviously over the last couple of days, we've seen that successful breakout to the upside, and since my last video, we actually came back down for a retest and bounced from that previous level of resistance, which is now acting as new support, and that was sitting at roughly around 68,500. And over the last 3 to 4 days, I've been explaining step by step a trading strategy that we can use here to make money for a breakout. I've been saying if we break out above that line of resistance, which was sitting at around 68.7k initially, I said before we see that breakout, I said back here that if we break out above that resistance level with confirmation, that will be a signal to start entering into a long position. And especially if we see more confirmation, like more candle closes or a retest, then those will be extra confirmation signals to add to a long position, which once again is what I explained over the last few days before we saw this breakout. In fact, around 3 to 4 days ago right here, I said in less than a week, within 1 week from there, so basically at some point within the next 1 week, I said we were going to see a breakout either above this resistance or below this support. And so the moment we started to break this resistance, that was the signal right there to enter a long position. And obviously, if you followed that, if you entered a long position right at this breakout, right above this resistance, as of right now, you would be in some decent profits. And as of recording this video, because the price has already pumped a decent amount from this breakout, at least in my situation, personally, if I took this breakout trade right here, I'll be moving my stop loss at least to my entry, at least to break even, ideally in some slight profits. And so that would basically mean, even in the worst case scenario, if the price just crashes right now and fails to hit the price target, if your stop loss is at break even or in profits, you essentially avoid any losses. You basically secure profits if your stop loss is in profits. And so obviously, if you've been watching my videos over the last few days, you should be making some decent profits right now with your long position, which I've explained step by step from start to finish, the entire trading strategy that I'll take here over the last few days. I've been sharing that transparently here in these videos, step by step, before we saw the move. But if you're new to the channel and this is the first video of mine that you've ever watched, then first of all, welcome to the channel. And if that's the case, make sure you subscribe to this channel with notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on any of these trading opportunities, which I'm always sharing here on the channel, where we could potentially make some easy money in crypto. And as of right now, we still have this active bullish price target for this breakout in play, which is sitting at around 74.8k. And this only becomes invalidated if we see a confirmed break back below the point of the breakout, so back below around 68,500. And when it comes to my Bitcoin long position right now, I'm still currently in this $200,000 Bitcoin long position, as you can see here on the left-hand side. And as of right now, this is around 50,000 US dollars in profits, which once again, I've been sharing this trading strategy every single day very transparently since I began entering into this trade. And as of right now, my stop loss is already sitting in profits above my entry, which also means, once again, in the worst case scenario, even if the price just crashes right now, I still make profits from this trade. And if you want to take trades like this in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I'm taking this trade right here and basically all of my trades over on Bybit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make a Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use the first link down below this video, it'll take you to this page right here, which is a massive $1.5 million trading competition happening right now over on Bybit. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out to potentially win a share in 1.5 million USDT. But if a trading competition isn't really your thing, then there's also a massive lucky draw happening right now over on Bybit just by trading crypto using the second link down below this video. I'll take you to this page right here where you could potentially win up to $100,000 or free Bitcoin or free Ethereum or many other prizes here. And so once again, if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out in the links down below this video. Once again, the second link below this video will take you to the lucky draw, and the first link below this video will take you to the trading competition. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there is also Bitflex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitflex. And so I'll also make sure to leave a link to Bitflex down below this video as an alternative crypto exchange. And if we're taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we can see right now, and over the last one day, the price has liquidated more positions, which were sitting at around 70,500 to 71,000. And I mentioned over the last few days that we still have a decent amount of liquidity in this area, going all the way up towards around 72,000, which basically means the price could continue liquidating those positions, pushing the price a little bit further to the upside, and basically a short squeeze happening right now. But of course, we still have some downside liquidity that is worth paying attention to at around 66,500. But with that being said, we cannot ignore other bullish factors right now, like for example, this confirmed breakout in the price on the 4-hour chart, and also other bullish signals like a bounce from support or the DXY trending in the bearish direction. And so overall, and as I've been saying here on the channel, overall, when we're looking at multiple charts and indicators and timeframes, things are simply pointing in the bullish direction for Bitcoin right now. And if we're taking a look at Ethereum on the daily time frame, obviously over the last 1 to 2 weeks, the price has basically been consolidating sideways after that massive bullish breakout from this bullish falling wedge, which is still technically active with the price target at around 40.70. And this price target in this breakout and this pattern would only invalidate if we see a confirmed break back below around 3.2k, which obviously as of right now has not happened. But what is happening just in the somewhat shorter term on the 8-hour time frame here is the price of ETH is still running into this level of resistance, this Fibonacci level of resistance, which is sitting at around 38.20. But at the time of recording this video, we're actually getting very close to a potential breakout. So if we actually confirm a breakout above 38.20 with candle closes above that level, then in that case, we could likely head up towards this local high again, which is sitting at around 39.50 to 39.60. And above that, we have more resistance based on this previous high just underneath 4.1k. But for the time being, 38.20 is still an important level of resistance to pay attention to just in the short term. And as for support, we still have some support at around 37.20 and a significant area of support in between 3.6k to 36.50. And if we're zooming into this area on the chart right here, but staying on the 8-hour time frame, we can still see a potential head and shoulders pattern forming right now in the price of ETH. But with that being said, in order for this pattern to confirm, we need to very soon see a break below this neckline, which is sitting at roughly around 37.40. Because as of right now, we've basically already formed the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. All we're waiting for now is a break below the neckline to confirm with candle closes below that neckline, which as of right now has not happened. And if it takes too long for that to happen, if the price just continues like this, for example, and then at some point eventually we break to the downside, basically if we see something like that, then the right shoulder would become way too large compared to the left shoulder, which would mean we would have no valid head and shoulders pattern. And so ultimately, for this pattern to actually confirm, we need to see a break below that neckline within the next couple of days or so at the most in order to confirm this pattern and the bearish price target, which once again is not yet confirmed. But what we are seeing right now for Ethereum versus Bitcoin, this is ETH BTC on the weekly time frame, is another rejection from this massive descending line of resistance that has been acting as resistance for around 2 years. Because this is on the weekly time frame, which means each one of these candles is an entire week. And once again, we're seeing another rejection after that previous massive spike to the upside in the price of ETH versus Bitcoin. And in case you're new to all of this, this chart basically shows Ethereum versus Bitcoin, which means if Ethereum is going to the downside, if this chart is going to the downside, it means Ethereum is underperforming against Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is doing better against Ethereum. But if this chart is going to the upside, it means the price of Ethereum, the price of ETH is outperforming Bitcoin. And so obviously, if we're playing out another rejection, potentially forming just another lower high in this massive bearish trend here on the weekly time frame, this is a bit of a bearish signal for ETH BTC, which is pointing towards the continued outperforming of Bitcoin versus Ethereum. And so in order to actually start flipping more bullish again on the weekly time frame, we ideally need to form some sort of higher low to potentially start playing out this massive bullish divergence. Some sort of higher low needs to form in ETH BTC, but then more importantly, we need to break out above this descending line of resistance and ideally above these previous highs right here to actually form a new higher high in place. And these previous highs are sitting at around 0.06 Bitcoin per Ethereum. And so if we actually see that happen, if we see a confirmed breakout above this resistance and above those previous highs, then we can actually start flipping more bullish for the price of ETH versus Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. But until we actually start seeing that happening, while the price is still struggling around this resistance level, Bitcoin is simply where it's at right now. Bitcoin is still outperforming Ethereum, while Ethereum is still in a downtrend against Bitcoin, technically speaking. And if we're taking a look at the price of Solana on the 8-hour time frame, right now the price is still basically chopping around sideways in between 160 and 172, which is what I've been saying over the last 1 week or so. And as I've also been saying, if we actually confirm a breakout above 172, then in that case, I would expect a move potentially back up towards these previous highs in between around 182 to 187 is the next area of resistance. And as for short-term support, if we see yet another rejection from this area of resistance, then in that case, I'd still expect support at around 160, which is what I've been saying over the last few days. But if we actually see a confirmed break below 160 with candle closes below $160, then in that case, I'll start to flip more bearish again in the short term for the price and expect to move potentially towards this next area of support in between 140 to 144 if we confirm a break below 160. But either way, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, once again, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions. And the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.